got Fix is going to wait down in the lobby to bring him up.
I feel like he will be long enough that she'll be able to get some.
She should, yeah, and we'll start a couple minutes late. Try to accommodate for that.
Pretty good.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Good. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Good. I haven't heard otherwise. I hope so. I enjoyed hearing that. 11, I'm gonna move you. Good thing.
They got you covering top city stuff?
They got me coming in.
Coming.
That's definitely quite a story. You cover all of that, don't you?
Yeah.
Which it should, yeah.
Mainly used to, but then they moved the guy to our stuff.
Yeah.
So another.
We're going to start just a couple minutes late. We're trying to accommodate for one person, and we won't hold it for too long, though.
You never accommodate for me.
What's that?
You never accommodate for me.
I sent somebody down specifically to get you. The rest of the people just came just because.
I'm up on E. Well, it's supposed to start now, but they're gonna push it back a couple, 2 or 3 minutes for us to go. Yep.
Anybody else need white?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
Operation Heatwave.
And real quick,
Yeah, check 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me? Good, good, good. Hello.
Keep going for me.
Okay. It's Thursday. That's Sergeant Chafee over there.
I heard it about my ears, yeah.
Operation Heatwave. Kickoff, yeah.
Just so you guys have it, it's going to be Deputy Chief Charles Hampton. He's going to kick things off. He'll pass it to Captain Ralph Woolfolk, and then Ralph will pass it back to Chief Hampton to kind of wrap up, and then we'll take questions from you.
Good on audio. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's that?
I got it.
You got it?
I'm good now.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, it's Chris.
All right, good morning. I'm Deputy Chief Charles Hampton, Jr., Division Commander of the Criminal Investigation Division. So we brought you here today just to talk about our kickoff to Operation Heatwave. Last year was our first initiative with Operation Heatwave, and it was very successful. Early on last year, we were prepared actually to have extremely high numbers in our violent crime. After the conclusion of Operation Heatwave, we had a 29% decrease in homicides, a 26% decrease in persons shot, and a 14% decrease in robberies. And so I'm going to bring up Captain Woolfolk to kind of talk about what Operation Heatwave is, what we plan on doing this year. But again, it is a model that was extremely successful and had a tremendous impact on our violent crime. And again, we just continue to do it. Then I'll come back to the podium to talk about some other incidents and the help from the community that we need. So, Captain Woolfolk.
All right. Thanks, Chief, and good morning, everyone. We are excited to kick off Operation Heatwave this year. As Chief indicated, we're about 24% down right now in our violent crime in comparison to last year, year to date. So we're excited with those numbers. And some of the operational engineering and organizational components that are built within this Heatwave model, we've continued to sustain throughout the entire year, which we think have led to some of these successes. So what we saw last year was a 16-week operational format in which we set out our officers, some of our best crime fighters in the city of Atlanta, in tandem with our FBI, GBI, ATF, the Attorney General's office, our state, federal partners. We deployed out within weapon offense areas, and we had a specific objective upon arriving at those locations. Those locations were chosen based upon historical data, primarily concerning our weapon offenses. And we essentially wanted to give our officers the best opportunity to encounter guns once we deployed out into those radiuses. And so what we saw from that was successes in which Chief indicated: the 29% reduction in the homicides, the 26% reductions in our robberies, and in our aggravated assaults, and our 14% reduction in our robberies. So we are here today to announce that we're kicking that off again tonight. We do have a 6 p.m. briefing, and we'll conduct that briefing in tandem with our federal and state partners, and then we'll deploy out into those specific radiuses. But prior to doing that, we wanted to talk briefly today just to our parents and to our children, to our youth. We essentially we need for parents to kind of to wake up here and pay attention to what their children are doing throughout the summer. We have an administration in our mayor's office that has allocated a ton of opportunities, probably more opportunities than ever before, for the youth in our city. So there are places to go. There are jobs in which are being offered to our youth. There are places to spend positive time and interaction with mentors and all kind of resources essentially that have been allocated to our youth. So we need for parents to pay close attention to that. We also need parents to pay close attention to what's going on, do administrative checks of these bedrooms. A lot of our firearms related incidents, we know that there have been guns located at home. We've conducted subsequent search warrants on particular targets that were involved in homicides, ag assaults, and we've gone back to these residents and we found handguns, we found extended magazines at these homes, we found assault rifles at these locations. So we really just need our parents engaged and locked in as to what is going on at home, because this is the only warning that we're going to administer here. If you do not take advantage of these opportunities that are available to you, we are deploying an operation that we know is successful. And our objective at this time across this next 16 weeks is to quell violence in our city and to make sure that we hold those accountable that are driving our violent crime. So thank you. That's all I got.
So we talk about the successes. I'm going to show a video of a homicide that we had this year on May 22nd. Where an 18-year-old was shot and killed in our city. And the video would depict several individuals with weapons. And so this is the type of incidents that we are still plagued with, although we are successful. But again, it's about a 15-second clip. I'll show it so you can record it, and then we can come back and talk about it.
You all will get this clip as well. It's on YouTube, so you can find it after.
So again, it was a very short clip, but this is what some of the incidents that we are faced with. But I am happy to report that a lot of those individuals currently are sitting behind jail at Fulton County. Some are still outstanding, and there are a few people that we're still trying to identify. But we were able to charge and apprehend 7 individuals with felony murder, the gang statute, and again, we have a couple others who just had possession of the weapons, and we charged them as well. And so again, as we kick off Operation Heatwave today, we just send the message that we won't tolerate the level of violence that is plaguing our city. We're going to hold everyone responsible with these violent acts, and because, again, this is not Atlanta. Atlanta is a place that people can go out to the parks, the nightclubs, anywhere, and be safe. And so we're going to do our part. But we're also asking the community to do their part. They have continued to support us, and when they see something, they say something. And we're also asking that same level of commitment from our community to do the same thing. Call us when you see something. Captain Wolford mentioned about the Year of the Youth from the mayor's office. Again, there are programs available for kids. There are programs available for adults. But we're asking our civic partners also to extend your services. Come join alongside of us as we're out here to provide the resources to the community. Because again, it's not arresting our way out of it. We have to provide alternatives, and we're here to do that as well. And so again, you may have a couple of questions that we'll take, but that's all we have right now.
So there's been a national trend, not only here in Atlanta, but throughout the country. Most cities have seen a reduction of homicides. What has contributed to that here in Atlanta, and what have you guys done to try to reduce that number from last year?
Again, I have our homicide commander, Dearlove, behind me. It's the hard work of the men and women to quickly solve these cases, but also holding other people responsible. You know, they work very hard and very diligent to bring closure to the family. But again, it's putting the information out there, asking for assistance from the community, but being able to apprehend individuals quickly. I think that also sends the message that, again, Atlanta is not the place to do this. We have talented men and women in our investigation division and our patrol division as well, that we're going to bring people responsible that is creating chaos in the city.
And with this operation, are you specifically going after weapon-prone areas, or are you also looking at gang areas, drug areas? And in the people that you're finding these weapons, are they young people? Are they affiliated with gangs? What can you tell us about that?
That was a lot, but so the answer is yes. So not only are we in weapon-based offenses, high weapon-based offenses, but we're also in the stronghold areas where we're seeing congregation of gangs. And so, yes, there is a gang problem, but we are impacting it. We are around the convenience stores. We are around multiple home dwellings. And so we're going to be in these areas. We're going to be present. And again, even while we're there, we're asking to have conversations. Again, it's not all about arresting. It's just being present and trying to stop the violence. But again, those are the areas we will be in. Our gang unit, led by our gang commander, Lieutenant Derek Jones, we have already this year increased our gang charges about 83%. And so, again, we are active in the streets, and we're doing our part to try to keep the citizens of Atlanta safe.
What role, if any, are the local community and youth organizations playing in this initiative?
Again, as we talk about, the mayor has been vocal. He has had partnerships with the Year of the Youth. So community and civic organizations are coming forward to extend their services. But again, we're just asking for more of that. We're asking for organizations to let us know what you're able to do as we encounter kids. We want to provide them resources where they do not feel like they have to stay on the street. But the police department, we have our PAL organizations, we have the At Promise Centers, so we have plenty of opportunities within the Atlanta Police Department. But again, we're asking everyone that has opportunity, that have programs. There are kids here who want to do something positive during the summer months. And then we just need to know what those resources are so we also can participate in those.
You have a strong message for the youth and parents. What percentage of our gang population does involve youth, and what is the initiative doing to kind of help and kind of navigate that? Because I know that's different in the judicial process.
I don't have the exact numbers, and that's something we can give you. But we are encountering too many youths with guns. You know, the question may come up, the incident that we had, the double homicide at 765 McDaniel, is young individuals arguing about a gun that escalated to this violence. So as Captain Woolfolk mentioned, we're asking the parents to go into those rooms, take off the doors if you have to, but know where your kids are, know what they're doing, check their social media accounts. But it's unfortunate, though, that the young people are getting their hands on these weapons. Many of them are illegally stocked with switches. So you're having a rapid succession of gunfire. And again, that's how innocent people are also getting struck and killed. But, you know, we're just asking the community to, if you see something, please let us know. You can remain anonymous. But again, we can't do it by ourselves.
And the young people you're finding with guns, are you also finding that they're associated with gangs?
Yeah, unfortunately, many are. And so as we, again, I talked about the increase of the charges, we're not going to tolerate it, though. And so we are doing our job as far as to make sure people have their day in court, but we are going to charge individuals for any type of furtherance of gang activity inside the city of Atlanta. We're going to do our part to make sure that gangs know that they're not welcome within the city of Atlanta. Go somewhere else. But we are going to do our part. If you're associated with a gang and you are up to doing illegal activities, we're going to do what we need to do to bring you to court so you have your day in court. Again, it's not illegal to be in a gang, but when you do illegal activities, especially the level of violence that you see in the video, we're going to do our part and bring you to justice.
Is there a talk about curfews?
Is there a common gang that you guys are looking at? Or is it multiple gangs? Like, you're saying gangs, how many gangs is it?
I mean, we've had, I'll let Captain Woolfolk give you the numbers of documented gangs that we're currently tracking. So.
Yeah. So the state of Georgia has released a report indicating there's about 71,000 documented gang members in the state of Georgia alone. In the city of Atlanta, we're tracking about 3,500. At any given time, we could be looking at 100, 150 sets or subsets of gangs, because you have to remember, with this social media climate, the persons that we look at in reference to these gangs, they migrate and fluctuate in and out of different gangs and subsets of gangs. So, you know, to answer your question, yes, we are looking at specific gangs in the city of Atlanta. And we just tell you, like, frankly, I mean, there's one of the gangs that we know is driving criminal street gang activity in our city is PFK, is Play for Keeps. Another gang that we know is very prevalent is PDE. So, you know, we are not afraid of these gangs. We will meet these gangs where they are in the strongholds. It's driven by your question, the weapon offense data. When we look at those weapons, the specific gun offenses within that radius, we know that we have a high probability based upon arrest in those areas that those persons are going to be associated with criminal street gang activity. The persons that are doing these gun offenses within these areas are associated with these gangs. So yes, there are specific gangs in which we're targeting, and there are specific gangs that will meet us throughout the summer.
You talk about meeting these criminals where they are in these high offense areas. You
Yeah.
talk about parents being involved, but
Right.
it's summer. A lot of these parents are working, and we know gangs are using different tactics like basketball tournaments, bounce houses, things like that to recruit kids in
Yeah.
Atlanta. Is that coming into play
Yeah,
in this operation?
and to the parents, like when you get home from work at 2, 3 in the morning or whenever you work, you need to do administrative checks of these bedrooms, right? I mean, you can be away at work and come home and know what is in and associated of your house. In the living room areas is where we're finding some of these weapons. In the bedrooms of some of the kids, we're finding some of these weapons. So we're asking for simply parents to be engaged. As we have indicated, the mayor's office has provided more opportunity and resources to our youth than probably any time or any administration in the previous years. We need for parents to reach out and engage those opportunities. The job programs, the volunteers and mentors that are associated already with the city that are trying to help some of our youth. The At Promise Center, our Police Athletic League. There's an abundance of resources that are available to parents throughout our city. We're simply asking for you to help us this summer and making sure, our objective is, we're not targeting kids or people that to just put people in jail for no reason. We want to divert these kids to quality opportunities and want to get them moving in the right direction. But should you not take advantage of those opportunities, you will meet the Atlanta Police Department this summer.
There has been a lot of talk about
Two more
curfews.
questions.
There have been a lot of talk about curfews
Yeah.
recently. How does that help you guys out as you try to address youth crime and youth violence?
Again, we know that's a tool that we can use, but when you talk about curfews and you talk about kids being out late, those are parental responsibilities. And so we're asking parents to know where your kids are. We do not want to come in contact with kids after hours. We do not. I mean, there are more violent crimes that we want to prevent than to follow up on kids after curfew. But again, if we have to, if we encounter kids, again, we're going to take them home and we're going to cite the parents for parental responsibility. But again, help us before we get to that point. We would like to not to have those type of encounters, and we want our encounters to, again, be good encounters. And I think you asked a question about people soliciting and going to basketball games. Again, there's a new law that's going to be effective July 1st, and where we know if adults are actively recruiting kids into gangs, there is a charge for that, and we are waiting. And I will let you know that July 1st, we will also be actively pursuing those charges as well. Because again, this has to stop. We have to protect our kids, and we need to make sure that the kids understand there are other things to do that are positive than getting involved in gangs.
In
Last
comparison to
question.
last year's initiative, how does that compare to the youth resources? Do y'all have more youth resources this summer than y'all did last year?
Yes, and so again, as we encounter kids, hopefully we won't. But again, if we see them, we're going to offer them resources. We're going to tell them other activities that they can go to rather than the encounter with Atlanta police officers. So again, we're trying to be proactive, but again, we're going to have a lot of resources in the city throughout this Operation Heatwave all summer long. Again, that's our state, federal, local, other jurisdictions partnering up together. Because again, it's not just an Atlanta problem. It is a problem that you see nationwide, statewide, and also in the region. And so we're combining all our resources together to make sure that we send a strong message that this level of violence that we depicted earlier, again, it's not going to be tolerated here in the city of Atlanta. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone.